Hey, welcome back. This is another installment of the Skyhunter FPV build video. Hope it's helping you in your build. Right here I'm showing you that there is a crack there in the wing where we're going to put the spar. I'm going to tape it off and I'm going to go ahead and put it in there. The tape is put on either side of the crack, really close to the crack, so that when we put the epoxy in, it will, when I go to smooth it down, it's not going to just run all over the wing. I'll be able to pull it off, and we'll have a nice clean seam where the epoxy sealed in the carbon fiber spar. I'm using 30-minute epoxy for your knowledge. 30-minute epoxy, from what I can tell, is the best because it's not so brittle. It's a little more flexible than normal epoxy. CA and slow drying CA will not work for this. If you try, it will not work on gray EPO. Gray EPO has got silicone or something in it, so it's pretty funny about what it likes to stick to. I'm going to sand the rod off here in a moment, and I'm going to go ahead and sand it really well till it turns white, and then I'm going to until it looks like it's scratched up really well. I'm probably using 80 to 100 grit sandpaper. I'm going to mix the epoxy, put it in there, and seat it nicely, and then kind of push it in and seal it off with the stick here. So there's the rod. There we go, and there's my block. So you can use a block of sandpaper, you can use a piece of sandpaper, doesn't matter. By the way, Gorilla Glue would not work for this step either. You have some extra gray EPO, like the pieces that that were left over from your end caps for your rear stabilizer. You might try testing what glue will stick to gray EPO. It's pretty particular. Again, I don't know what they put in it to make it not stick, but it doesn't do a great job sticking to a lot of glues. That's the reason they use contact cement. Alright, make sure you mix your epoxy really well. No hurry, by the way. This is 30-minute epoxy I'm using. That's another reason why. You got plenty of time. It should sink to the bottom. If you see when you see me put it in, it'll sink to the bottom of the crack pretty easily if you use 30-minute epoxy versus 5 or 15. So just kind of lay it down in the crack. I am not putting the popsicle stick down into the crack. I'm just kind of riding along the top and letting it drip down in there, if you kind of notice. Okay, I'm going to put the rod in there, I'm going to seal it off. If you notice when I'm done, I'm going to push it down, and then I'm going to kind of ride my popsicle stick along the top. That enables me to just put a nice coating of epoxy over the top of it as well, so it kind of gets sealed in there. I want to talk about something here in a moment. I lost a piece of footage on this. The boom arm brackets that go to the boom arms, basically, that are off to the right hand of my elbow there. Those, I lost that footage somewhere, so I apologize for that. You can put those brackets in with contact cement, just however, don't put any down in the crack. If you do, and then you put it on the plastic, it's going to not make it to the bottom. Just so heads up on however you want to do that. I used 30-minute epoxy with also a little bit of Gorilla Glue down in that crack to do mine. Again, those are the boom arm brackets. I'm going to talk about those here in a second. I've got a picture coming up. Peel off your tape, by the way, right away so it does not dry. If it dries in place with that epoxy, you may have a hard time getting your blue tape or your tape of any type off. Here are the boom arm brackets. Right here, you notice. If you notice, one's left, one goes up. This is the manufacturer's plane picture. And for some reason, between there and the tail boom, if you watched my stabilizer and video, you'll notice that I got them wrong, and so did the manufacturer. If you can do this, I don't know if it's possible, but if you can, try to set those either off to the left or down in something so they all look, you know, the back are going down and the tops are going to the front ones are going to the left, something, but those are wrong. If you notice, the left one is going left and the other one's going, the right arrow is going up. So just having said that, take for what it's worth. Another thing is that right cap where you see the right arrow, when you do that, don't put the right cap on yet. If you put that right cap on, it'll be a lot harder to fish the wire from the tail boom up to the front, because you have to put your control wire up there for the servo. All right. So we're done with those. We're going to put them aside here in a moment. I'm just sealing it off one last little bit. Going to do that on this one as well. And again, while you're working on this, after you do this side, you can put in that boom arm bracket that is to the right of my hand over there. You can put that in. I wouldn't suggest putting in your control horns yet, but you can put that in there. And then the caps, by the way, are a good way to hold them on would be your contact cement or epoxy. I use contact cement for mine. I would just be careful not filling the holes with it. If you do, when you put it on the feet, it could be hard to push in. I know I made that mistake and mine was pretty hard to push in. So heads up, take it however you will, but learn from my mistakes, hopefully. So we're scratching this one up the same way. Sorry about the blurred out screen there. I realized I left my phone on the thing and my girl's number came up and didn't want everybody in the world calling her, because I know people love to do that on YouTube when you leave a phone number visible, so I blurred it out. Alright, more tape. Again, on either side of the crack. Apologize again for losing that footage for putting on those boom arm brackets. I don't know where that went, but anyways, my bad. If my camera went over it, I don't have a clue. I just know it didn't record. So, anyhow. Same process as before. Gotta mix some glue, drip it in there, and push the rod in. I may even make another one of these videos. I think I'm gonna buy another one of the Skyhunters. They just are such nice planes. I think I want one for playing around with and doing, you know, low altitude, close to ground stuff and tricks. And I want another one for long range. Like, I'd like to take some aerial footage of cities and things like that, kind of fly around them and not through them, but just around them. Do something safe, have some nice footage. Hey, speaking of which, I just was thinking about a plea from some of the other people out there that are doing FPV. If you're new to this, or even if you're not, I keep thinking about, I'd love to do stuff that's risky, but in the same aspect, I keep thinking about how a lot of people are doing flights in cities or, you know, through cities and kind of getting us in trouble. And I think there was something that recently went to Oregon that talked about banning drones. And you know, I think this is fun, but I sure would hate for somebody to screw it up. So just a call, if anybody's listening, to be responsible with your planes. First person view is fun, but it's not any fun if you screw it all up for all of us. So I know, probably aren't listening, but that's cool. No worries. Enjoy the build. I'm just rambling, trying to fill in space. Alright, same thing as before. You notice how it kind of popped up there? It's because I didn't make sure the other edge was, you know, seated. And again, just seal it off with the excess glue. When you're done, pull the tape. At this point, I'm taking the little cap that goes for holding the wings when you have the wing bolts, because these wings bolt on. This is the plastic cap that goes in the end of the wing. You can't really see it. I apologize for being off video there. I thought I had my camera zoomed out enough. Apparently I didn't. I had it zoomed in because my table is totally covered in crap. So anyways, here it is. I'm going to push the cap in here in a moment. I only coated the outsides of it, by the way, just around the edges. And that way when I stick it in, it's going to get stuck in there really nice and good. Never come out. And again, that wing boom bracket goes right where my thumb is, the one I'm talking about. What I talked about earlier, excuse me. Alright, gonna do the other cap now so you can see it, hopefully. Hopefully I don't leave it out of your view. My apologies. I hate when people do things and I'm looking at a video and I can't see what they're doing, and I'm doing the same. So I think you can see it on the next one, the next wing that I do. So we'll see. Alright, once this goes in, by the way, we're just going to put the wing aside. We're going to let them dry for about 2 hours. Don't touch them between now and then. Just leave them alone. Let them dry. Go eat some lunch or something. I'm time-lapsed here because I'm just showing off the wing because, you know, my next part is coming up. It looks like I just went right to it, but I did let them dry and I came back. So about an hour and a half, 2 hours. We're starting on the second side now. So same process. In this one, I pre-taped everything. I kind of stuck them in the holes where they were supposed to go, lined them up. The same thing, if you notice, the right rod is already done as well. Because there's 3 of them, might as well tape them all at the same time instead of taping them individually. There's a lot of glue you kind of put in there. I also, if you notice here, a lot of people tend to cut the control surfaces early on the plane, your ailerons. I left those intact, so you'll notice why later. It's a lot easier to put your servos and your control arms and adjust everything to exactly level when they haven't been cut yet. So take that as a piece of advice. You don't have to. You can cut them anytime you want. I waited until the end so I could put them and the servos and everything on there. Same process before. We're gonna put glue in the crack. Now that we've sanded all the carbon fiber rods. And seal it in just like I did the last one. There you go. I just prefer to look down and see a nice clean sealed looking rod. I don't care about the excess glue that's on my tape. And just like before, you want to make sure that those are completely seated so you don't have an excess control surface sticking up. Hey, you notice it's already kind of going down into the crack. In this case, I just thought I'd let it go a little further, and I'd set this to do the second one, so I can do them at the same time, pretty much. Again, this is a guide. It's not a, you know, you have to do it this way. It's just a suggestion. It's the way I did mine. Decided to do the build video because nobody out there had anything going. I even contacted people and said, hey, how about doing a walk around on that for me so I can see how that looks? Got no replies back. Everybody that has a Skyhunter out there right now wouldn't give me the light of day on it. So other than saying this is how what it's built with, I was asking for pictures or something so I could put this together, and I got nothing. So I was like, you know what? When I get mine, I'm gonna do a build video. So this is mine, and you know, if you want to put up a build video, I'm sure the more the merrier, and people would enjoy it and appreciate it. So. See me kind of, these ones are a little harder to push in. I'm kind of shoving down on them. Just make sure they're seated completely. In other words, nothing sticking up like we talked about before. And then seal them off. In this case, this one kept popping back up. I think it was because on the light part of the wing there. So you see me kind of holding the wing up, and I'm kind of pushing in with my hand from the back side. That kept flexing back out of the crack, so I wanted to glue it in there really well, so that's when you see me kind of holding it in my hand. By the way, when you're working with this epoxy or whatever you're working with, try to have some paper towels nearby because it does get sticky. Again, just suggestions, do it how you want. There you go, get glue all over myself. That's nice, huh? If you notice here, by the way, I already put in the wing spar holders. The pieces that actually hold the wing spar in. I've got those down here at the end. The videos weren't in order, so anyways, it's the way I did it. So here at the end, I'll show you how to put those in. Same exact process. Hope you're not getting too bored yet. I thought about cutting it out and just saying repeat, but I know there's some people that want to see it done on both wings, so here it is. Sanding the rods again, exact same way. Putting a large glob of 30-minute epoxy down. You could also, by the way, for this process, use an acid brush. Just acid brushes, to me, get stuck. Sometimes the bristles pull out and they get stuck in the epoxy and they look kind of nasty. So I use popsicle sticks to do this process. Use what you want, do what you want. Again, this is only a guide, or you know, how I did it. Again, fully seated. Alright, we're done with that. I'm just going to go ahead and skip on to the next part, since you already get how to do this. Alright, here are the wing spar holders that I should have gone ahead and done first. Showing that you are going to put it in the crack, not on, you're not putting glue anywhere but on either side of that spot right there. Not down in the center, because that's where your rod is actually going to go. Your rod goes there. So you don't want to put any glue there. None, zip, zero, zilch, nada. You're going to put glue on either side of the crack. Right there. But if you put it on the sides, by the way, you're going to have a hard time getting that in there. You may. I did, and I struggled with getting them in. You'll see at the end how hard I struggled getting them in. You're going to put it there on that flat edge. And there on that flat edge, but again, not in the groove in the center. Not there, right where I'm putting that. That's where your rod stays. All right. And if you notice here in a moment, I'm going to show you something else. So get those lined up and ready to go. All right, if you look down here in the grooves, there are little bumps on the piece right here. The piece in my hand, and there are bumps down inside the groove. Little bumps. You want to get those out, because if you don't use contact cement, it's kind of like leaving a raised edge, and it may not let the contact cement fully touch. So in this case, I'm just running a piece of my block down and knocking those little bumps off. Not down where the groove goes, just on top. Right there, right where the glue goes. And when you're done, wipe those out. Pretty simple. You can't see them here. You'll see it when I pick up the piece and I show you the piece that goes down in there. You'll be able to see the bumps. Alright, here look at it. See the little bumps that are all over it? They're about every inch apart. Those you want to knock down and make them flat before you use your glue. Just get them all off. Set it down on a table. Mine's up in the air because I'm trying to show you. I would just put it on the table and run the sandpaper down it once or twice, and they should come off with 180 grit sandpaper. By the way, it's not a bad idea to do this. Anytime you use contact cement or any type of glue, it's good to score it up so that way it sticks. That's it. So now we're going to put the glue on. There you go. Just on the bottom half. If you do it on the sides and you do it on the other sides, just know this. You better have it in place and be ready to shove really hard when you go put it in, because it will stick. I I know that because I did mine that way, and it was really hard to get it in there. So I got somewhere I shouldn't have. I put it on the edges, and just on the bottom surfaces where you see me put it would be advisable. But that's up to you. Again, this is only a guide, so do what you want. And when you do this, it's a nice even coat, not heavy. You don't want to see drips. You just want it to make a nice, not really light, but you don't want it really heavy, kind of in between. Kind of like you would put on with a paintbrush. This is contact cement. I'm using Weldwood contact cement. If you watch my videos, other videos where I built the rib plane, you notice I used the Weldwood contact cement. Alright, here we go. Almost done. If you notice how hard I have to shove to get this in here, it's because I put it on the sides. So it really was a lot harder than it should have been. I should have been able to slip that in and have the surfaces touch and been fine, but unfortunately I messed up. I edited that out of there because I didn't want you to make my mistakes. Look back right by my hand. See how the foam didn't seat all the way? That's because I put it on the edges. So learn from a mistake, don't do that. Right there where you see my hand, it really was kind of hard shoving it down. Probably going to stick better, but that's again up to you. Alright, that one's seated. Alright. If you notice, look where my other one's at. As you can see it, the glue on the sides. That's how you can tell I didn't do it right. But whatever, again, do it how you will. I'm still not satisfied with the way that's at. Here I'm cutting off the forms from the EPO mold that they used in the factory. The little nubs. Those are control surfaces. Basically they can cause wind direction to change and just cause your plane to fly a little funny. So besides that aesthetics, I don't like the looks of them, so I'm chopping them off. Probably wouldn't affect it that much, just to me, the less the better. So I'm using a straight blade, putting it straight on the plane and pulling it across. And that's it. And again, I'm waiting to cut the ailerons because I'm going to put the servos and everything on there, and then I'm going to go ahead and do it. Alright, we're almost done. Once this is pushed in, I want to say thank you for listening and watching. Hope it's been helpful. As always, thank you for watching. Thumbs up are always appreciated, but never required. Hope you're having a great day. Take care.